I did not throw college parties, but I had the best college parties. I was friends with all the Kappas, all the sororities, all the fraternities, also the Qs. A lot of them was my partners, and I had intentions on crossing, but it just wasn't for me. But I always kept my relationship. Yeah, I was stuck between Kappa and Q. I didn't know which one I wanted to do. But a lot of my friends was, in both fraternities, and the Qs always was having parties, and this guy named Shrek, a pain in my ass, but that's my man. He allowed me. I told him, I said, listen, I could work for free, and I think that's what some people don't understand. Like, some people always looking for monetary value or compensation, and it don't work like that. These people are already doing good without you. Why do they need to bring you on and give them a piece of their pie? And my mindset was always different. Like, how can I help? You get what I'm saying? So if you're paying someone to do this, I can do it better. So if you paying someone to pass out flyers, I told them I could pass out the flyers. I went from dorm room to dorm room, sliding under the doors, and that gave me access to the female dorm rooms. So I was like, hey, I could go pass out flyers in a female dorm room. I might bump into one of them, and they might be kind of cute, and then I can have a conversation. I can invite them to the party. I look cool, and it'll grow from there. So no, I did not throw parties, but I attended them, and the way I attended it, like, I was always a guy with the liquor, the new outfit, and everybody wanted to rock with. And I just took that lifestyle when I got home and just kept it going. I wanted to continue this lifestyle. So I'm a business major and a marketing major. So if I could take marketing ideas and transfer it to the business side and say, hey, listen, well, if we're going outside, and one day we was at Opera nightclub with my cousin named Quan, and he had some money, and Hezo was coming down, I think the day after. Or were you here? You was here? Huh? You was here? Yeah. And he was like, yo, we're going to get a little table. And I was speaking to Smitty outside, and the bottles was $3.60 a bottle. That's about a 300% markup from the retail store. So I'm like, yo, this is a business within a business itself. You buying liquor, buying someone else's product, and then reselling it to someone else. If I could get $100 a week, that'd be $400 a month. That could pay my car note off this business. And that's how I looked at it. I looked at it from a small scale, and you look at it from a big scale. If you multiply and look at the different streams of revenue coming through the club, that's what made me want to promote. And then, I look at the good things in people, not the bad things. And with Hezo, like, a lot of women was always, like, intrigued by his look. You know what I'm saying? And so then when they actually speak to him, he's great with words, verbally. And then I'm good with ideas, but sometimes it's hard for me to put it out there. And he was one of those people in our crew that could put the ideas, like what I'm saying in my head, he could put it out there or make it look well. And that's when they started asking us for the Hennessy position, and we both interviewed, I kept dropping the ball, not answering emails and phone calls, and Hezo was on it, killing it, and nailing it. And I'm great that he got positioned. And when everybody said God does everything for a reason, it's great that he has a Hennessy position, because he's great at making things look well and saying it well and getting the world to see it from his view. So when you put all of that in compass, you have elite stars, and you have, separate entities that form, and it's great to see people around you grow.
So I got started in the Party for More Than lifestyle. I think how everybody else gets to love the Atlanta culture and lifestyle. I was coming down literally every weekend, me, my other cousin, his brother, and Jabbar was just like, I didn't have no social media. I didn't like social media. I liked my privacy. He was just like, come down, please. You got to move down. He would post me on his social media every time I would come down, and he would be like, look, man, they love you. Come down. We could really take this off to the next level. So I was like, nah, I'm good. And then one day I was just like, yo, I'm coming. Moved in with him and his mother down in Jonesboro for about my first year down here while I saved, be able to get myself on my feet. And we just started it. We did a couple street teams, a couple other people that helped us out along the way. Like you said, being outside every day is expensive, man, especially with the evolution of the social media, outfits. I said we got a team, promotion, flyers. I mean, like you said, it gets expensive. So it's not just promoting. So it's like I got people calling me for tables. I'm trying to look at table charts. I'm sending out prices. And of course, you got these people, they spend a lot of money, so they got questions. How many bottles come with this? How many wristbands? Can you do this? Can you do that? Well, how about this? And on top of that, I got my Hennessy work. I got my expenses. I got my recaps. I got payroll. I got emails. I got, my personal events that I'm trying to put together and everything like that. So that's basically a day in the life. I just wake up to about maybe 30 text messages unread, and this is from when I get in the house at 3 a.m. I try to wake up as early as I can. About 30 text messages, a ton of emails that I got to go through. I receive I would say about more than 20 emails every morning, new emails from opportunities of people, inquiring on how can I be a part of something that they got going on. And of course, it can only be a part of so many things, but I try to answer as many as I can. But that's typically a day in the life that's just admin, outside of meetings I may have or things that me and Jabbar had to go to Compound or Goldroom or have a lunch meeting to talk about other opportunities that we have. I became the Hennessy ambassador just being myself. I mean, I think all the characteristics that, Jabbar mentioned that I had, I mean, it's just me. Like, it just comes natural. I didn't try to do anything extra. I just been myself. Like, I'm very detail-oriented when it comes to my work, and it's every aspect of work that I do, whether it's promoting or whether it's doing Hennessy or even if it's being a father or being a boyfriend or every aspect of my life, I'm very detail-oriented. So I was just being myself, just following up with emails on time, going above and beyond to some of the things that they were asking for, whether it was describing myself or my previous work experience or like you asked, the day in the life of Hezo, something like that. And just being a Hennessy ambassador just means, just making sure you're representing the brand, maintaining that image of luxury that they expect from you. Drinking responsibly, making sure that, you have the best looks in everything that you're doing, whether it's in your city, whether it's in another city for a key selling period, maybe All-Star Weekend or Super Bowl. Just maintaining that image of luxury and, respecting yourself and respecting others, being courteous to everyone, and it's basically just never stopping, never settling.
Before the Hennessy, we was working with Kenny Burns and Pat Richards with their brand that they was working with our time, and we would, like I said, we was interning and working for free and helping them, and at that time we wasn't focused on the tables. We was using the brand that we was helping to help other people. Like we would go in the crowd, make people drinks, and just trying to make happy, just trying to get people to indulge into the party. And if you think people driving the boat now, imagine what they were driving then, when we in the crowd helping people make drinks. And like I said, every little thing counts. Every little thing counts, and every opportunity and every situation counts as well.
Some of the misconceptions about party promoters. I think one of the biggest misconceptions is people think that we don't do anything. I think people think we just show up to the club and we're just going in, we just drink and party for free. I mean, it's a lot of work that goes into it, a whole bunch of work. And takes a lot to make it look good. You know, from the outside, you know, people see me, Jabbar, everybody on our team, posting pictures, you know, clear, good, high-resolution pictures and around pretty women and, you know, drinking all of this stuff. But it's a lot of meetings, it's a lot of planning, it's a lot of money that goes into it. It's a lot of nights where, you know, we don't make money. For instance, Click Tuesdays, you know, we had one of the biggest Tuesdays in the city for years. Big photo booth for me. A lot of weeks, and plenty of other parties after that. A lot of weeks we don't make money, but you know we don't tell people that. We don't say, hey, you know, don't come out tonight because we ain't making money. That has nothing to do with them. You know what I'm saying? Our job at the end of the day is to make sure everybody comes and have a good time. And to us, at the end of the night, if you tell us, hey man, we had a great time. I don't care if I had to come out of my pocket $400 to pay. He had to come out of his pocket $300 to pay waitresses for the tip or to pay for flyers for people's birthday. You know, it doesn't matter to us as long as people had a good time and had a good experience. We feel like our job is done.
Another misconception I see a lot of promoters do is I feel like they don't pay attention to themselves and their brand. And when you representing something, you got to represent it to the fullest. Like even at this interview, I didn't, you know, Hezo coming to the interview, I don't have to tell him you need to look appropriate. Hezo didn't come here with a hood wrapped around his head, a do-rag on. He came in here, you know, to represent, and that's what we do. And whenever you step out that door, regardless you going to the mall, whatever you're going, you gotta be ready, because perception is the strongest word outside the Bible, and the way people perceive you is very important. And when you walk into these parties, like, you know, your shoes got to be clean, because people looking to you like, what separates you from the next person? What separates you from the next promoter? What separates you from the DJ? And I think a lot of people forget about that. Like the way you look, the way you smell, you know, even what you drive. If you don't have a nice car, maybe that shouldn't be in the video. And I'm not saying, you know, be ashamed of who you are, but maybe you should have more pride in who you are. And I think that's a part missing from the game, that, you know, a lot of great promoters used to do that. And I'm talking about guys like Biddy Barnes and mentioning Kenny Burns again. Like, when you see them, they always, regardless of a sweatsuit, jean suit, tuxedo, they clean. And you got to be clean. You got to represent. Everything you do counts. And you know, I'll go to my job. I'll get the money from my job, invest in myself. I invest in Tommy and Mike Hauser, Donnie and Kamal. Those guys was helping me back then. So when Hezo says no iron team, like I mention these people in these interviews. So and excuse me, I forget some people. I mention these people in the interview because before we got here, everybody was there. And Alex, they called Alex one day. I'll never forget. He came in with a red Adidas sweater, khakis, and Timbs. He swear he think he from New York, but he's not. And he came in the Primal, and he was like, Primal before Privé now, Glue. He came in there and said, I knocked down this wall, I level this out, I make this a stage, I lift this up, this beam you can't knock down, this wall is low bearing, you're gonna pull this down, you're gonna open this up, you're gonna move this bar over here. And I was like, whoa, like, this dude is serious. Like, he really had the mind to open venues up and make it look crazy. At that same time, he came in a Privé to do that. Well, Primal, he was designing Privé in his head, never thinking that he was going to be the owner. He still had Rain, Vanquish, Velveroom. What else? I think that was all he had at that time. And soon his brothers was acquiring Halo around that time. So everything was moving in that direction. And when he came in on the way out, he was like, yo, you want a job? He was in his Escalade. He said, you want a job? I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm gonna pay you $3 per head. I want you to bring your people to my club and stuff. And that was the start of there when Kenny, our names was in a bucket. Kenny mentioned my name again. And when I actually got to meet him, before he pulled off, he gave me an opportunity. And regardless of what people say about him, the good or bad, like, that opportunity expounded us, because a lot of people used to try to take advantage and cut corners and cheat. And this is going to happen regardless in life. And I try to tell people, if every time you run into a brick wall, you just give up, like you're never gonna get nowhere. So that's how our relationship was built in Atlanta. The club life is our personal life, and that's what people get things misconstrued. This is our business. This is our job. This is the way we bring money to our family. So when people say, "Hey, bro, you acting like that," it's like, well, we have expenses, we have high bills, and I also feel like, to touch on what I said, if we didn't come up working with certain people that we work with, we wouldn't appreciate what we have. And a lot of clubs don't last long, and a lot of parties don't last long because people get into it for the wrong things and they create bad habits. And when you create those bad habits, it come back to haunt you. So it's just not about the look. It's also about the backing on the business. Bringing people in to help you. Make sure that your business is correct. Make sure your bills is correct. Make sure, you're paying your insurance and, your taxes. Like, that is important. So sometimes when people are like, "Oh, bro, he acting funny. He don't want to let us in. He doing that." The girl like, "Oh, she coming from LA. Like, I never pay for anything." Yeah, you never pay for anything because bottles is $1,200 there. Tables is $7,000, $8,000 on a regular day. $5,000, $6,000. Here is $600, $800, $900 sometimes on a regular weekend. So people have to respect that, and all the things that come into it. If you let 100 people in free and they don't buy a drink, that's what a cover charge is for, to cover yourself in case people don't spend the money they don't supposed to spend. Now, if you have clients that we both have, like he has relationships, someone say, "Hey, can I come in? Can you take care of me?" But they might spend $300, $600 at the bar. And that what makes us a good team, because we have relationships and we love those relationships. And sometimes it can get a little crazy, but for the most, like, people respect us because we respect them. So going back to say the balance, we are the balance. Like, we balance ourselves. The personal, the clubs, all of it's all in one. The profit you may make from the club may be the meal to buy your family, maybe the money to buy your family a meal or put clothes on their back, roof over your head. So it's all entwined. It's all one.
I balance myself. You just got to keep yourself organized, and I think one of the biggest things is discipline. Just discipline yourself, and that's basically it. I mean, for me, that's the biggest thing. Like I might have a party Friday night, and my son might have a play or something going on Saturday morning in New York. So I might have a 6 a.m. flight. So granted, my work hours, my work hours are 24 hours technically, but granted, politically, the club closes at 3 a.m. and you have an after hour. So I'm not going to go to the after hour if I have a 6 a.m. flight. So go back to what Jabbar had mentioned, teamwork. I'm going to say, "Hey, got this set up over there. I need you to handle it for me." But that's basically it. Just biggest thing for me is just discipline myself, and if that means not drinking that night, and just running around, just taking care of everybody, being hospitable, then so be it. I just won't drink. But that's just the biggest thing for me. It's keeping myself organized and disciplined. Right now, to answer your question, I mean, Lil Baby, he got some hits, so his parties is always fire, and a lot of people don't know those mixtapes, those not albums, those was mixtapes. So he just getting started, so he probably gonna be something to look forward to.
If you ask me that question, what artist may be our favorite artist or our favorite party or part of our favorite party, I love all the parties. Pat always used to make fun of me. Pat Richards always used to make fun of me. He said, Jabbar never been to a bad party. He always make the best out of any party. But
that's the truth. We can have 20 people in there. Trust me, people gonna leave saying, "Damn, we had a good time."
Yeah, everybody's gonna be inebriated. But I've been to a lot of great parties in my lifetime, and all of them wasn't They don't have to be celebrity based. A lot of Drake private parties been great to me.
He loved those.
Yeah. It's a vibe. And when people used to say vibe, I'm like, man, I don't smoke weed. I don't know what they talking about a vibe. But now, when I start going to those things, I said, oh, that's a vibe they talking about when they having a kickback at their house. It was a vibe. So when you go to those Drake kickbacks and like that's a vibe. But you go to them Rick Ross private parties and you got McDonald's out there and Waffle House, stuff like that. Like those are great parties that necessarily we didn't do, but we attended. That was dope. The Drake parties, of course, working with other promoters, Benny and Alex, and you got, some of the strip club promoters. We invite girls personally, and Drake DJing himself. He playing the music that he feels good in his soul. Like the other day, he paid some state property. Then he played The Dream. Then he went to Shaka Khan. He was just like all over the place, but the music felt good. And you was at the party the day before.
Which one? Drake?
Yeah, the one with Republic. He didn't DJ, but it was still a vibe.
Oh, you talking about last year when he was DJing?
No, a couple of days.
He DJed again?
Yeah. And then he DJed at Vanquish about 8 years ago.
Can't make all of those. Man.
Yeah. And it just be a real vibe. And it's like I said, we don't necessarily have to do the party. Or even we sent our friends and my girl to a party that Diddy did in Miami for New Year's Eve. And she had a great time. And when you say you feel like we made it, for her to be able to attend that party with one of our mentors, Kenny and Pat, and have a good time, like I think like that's how you feel like you made it. Because now our entourage, our people around us, our family, our friends get to enjoy a party like that. You can't.
I think another one of my favorite parties, and it has nothing to do with the artist. It does have to do with the artist, but also has to do with the experience, the cassette parties.
Yeah, the cassette
parties.
What they're doing with that is pretty dope.
Hannah, Kenny, Corey, Bachi. Mm-hmm. One party a month. Hennessy, I was lucky to be a part of. But that was another party that I would say like something I look forward to.
Some of the dinners and parties I look forward to, and when he salute people at the Hennessy dinners, and the privileged toast, and when you honor people as well, I really look forward to those because it'd be great drinks, but it'd be great food, and also be a great ambiance, and also it's great people in those rooms.
Good networking.
Good networking, and those conversations and those rooms, you can't change that. So last year he had a Father's Day event, and the conversation was so good in the room between Shaka, Ray Daniels, and Chubby Baby, Jay Warfield, DJ Infamous. It was like you can't
Funny
pay
Marco.
for some of that stuff. Funny Marco, some of that stuff is great, So yeah, I appreciate stuff like that. And I also look forward to our dinner we do every year amongst our team, when we just get together, just eat, kick it, talk, exchange gifts, and go about our way.
My favorite parties is Jabbar Cash Week. That should always be lit.
Man, that should be too long, man.
When you brought Dubai to Goldroom, that shit was like over the top.
When he was a pirate.
Let's not talk about that. Listen, me, Jabbar, no, I don't even be wanting to do a party for my birthday. But, Jabbar, he got to be Jabbar. You got to do it for the city, for at least one. If it's up to me, I'll be in Africa somewhere in a safari with giraffes and elephants.
We go there the week after.
But thank you, though. Appreciate y'all for acknowledging us and
But
rocking with us.
see what he's saying, like, you may not think
No, I know what you're saying. Like
You may not feel it, but other people feel it.
The people want it. They look forward to it. I understand.
The wildest thing we ever seen in the club.
It could be anything. It could be fight. It could be,
Nah, it would never be anything negative.
it could be strip ball.
I ain't gonna lie.
Stripper Bowl was.
You know who? You know the artist Russ.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I really see artists come in and spend their own money. I'm talking about money. I'm not talking about like, 4 bottles, $1,200. Let me get extra on top of my rider. I'm talking about this dude did like 40 bottles.
No, he did more than.
He did more than 40?
Yeah, because first, we gave him bottles. We gave him 6 bottles. Fly Guy DC, shout out to him. He set that up, but he was doing 10 bottles
At a time.
every 30 minutes.
You know who Russ is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to him for rocking with us,
he
man.
did that at first. He did 10 bottles. So
And then he was doing extra Hennessy, and he was like,
Yeah.
that's for you." Like
Yeah.
he was just showing love. I mean, that was just it was.
he was doing a
was
mixture of
eye-opening.
bottles, and so we ran out of 42. So he had to supplement that bottle with champagne and stuff. And after he was doing every 30 minutes, he sent it to every table in the club.
Oh, yeah, he did.
That's how his
Right.
tab on. He sent it to every table in the club. And I heard of Russ because he was a independent artist. My friend Kirby always comes to me like, he's so dope. Da, 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 da. He always talks to me about all these artists. And he was like, he's the one of the best independent, and he says what he wants, and he don't have a filter, and he's going to be the man, and everybody rock with him, and I want you to hear his music. So Kirby been sending me his music, but I'm so running around and listening to all these different people's music, and I have my own artist music. 1K is like, music come out every day. So when Russ came, I knew he came to Atlanta with a mission. And the mission that him and DC put together, it was to leave Atlanta with everybody knowing who Russ was. It wasn't just about the bottles, it was about how he did it. Like, y'all don't know me, I'm going to introduce myself to y'all. I'm going to reintroduce myself to y'all.
And he had a couple stops in the city.
Yeah,
that week.
he had a couple of
He was
stops.
here for a while.
And he went to Magic City, showed them love. He went to Republic, showed them love. He went to Opium, showed them love. But what he did at Goldroom, it left a lasting impression. And Rush is not into himself. He was also helping Bia, because no one knew who Bia was. She's a feature on there, but in Atlanta, no one, like, people know her, but you know what I'm saying? People don't know her. And he helping everybody around him. DJ Calvin, he helping Bia, and that song is like, we play I want to hear it in the club now. I tell the DJ, like, how you gonna go a night without playing Russ' song? So shout out to Hezo for remembering that. Another great party we went to that was great. We had 2 parties in one night. Me, Alex, me, Kenny.
What about Compound? Hov was there?
Hold on, yeah, but that's one. Me, Kenny, and my team and Pat. We all was we all wore suits, and we went to the Fox Theater. And I forgot, Alex had his own party, but Alex was he did both parties. And I forgot what Alex was that night. Probably was Compound. But Alex left Compound, came to the Fox Theater. The party was so live and so dope. He told all his staff to bring out all the champagne we had and gave it away. And Kenny Burns had a playlist, and my friend Ed Show, my partner with Ordinary Genius, he was like, that was one of the best New Year's because he didn't expect that. Everybody was fly. And that's been on Rihanna. Rihanna dropped that song. It was like one of her hottest songs ever. And they dropped
A lot of hot songs.
Yeah. But that year, the bottles came out. Rihanna was playing. Kenny was yelling on the mic. Everybody had a champagne bottle in their hand. It was dope. That was one of the best parties as well. And the third one, when Hov came to Compound.
That's probably one of the biggest nights in history.
Yeah.
Jalen Rose album, boy.
Yeah, Jalen Rose.
Everybody. Jeezy. Jermaine Dupri.
Was Kanye there?
No, Kanye was there when Drake was there. It was Kanye, Drake, 2 Chainz,
And Future.
Future. Yeah.
Jeezy 10th anniversary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With the Russ, I gotta, because if she see this, she gonna be mad at me. The Russ song was because of my girl. She put me on to it. She used to play it like crazy. So that's how I knew about it way before he had came. So I had to squeeze that in.
Make sure you keep that.
Put me in the doghouse.
Just look forward to us growing. Also, I know how Hezo is. If when this come out well, look for us to doing this more. Look for us to building our YouTube channels, building our brand, and you got anything?
Just like he says, it's all about growth. So just look for us to grow. Look for our team to grow. Like he said, one of the things that makes Elite Star special is every single person on our team brings something to the table. So like you said, we got people that's doing sports management for QC. Another person that's going to start doing sports manager as well on the basketball side. So just everybody brings something to the table. That's what makes it so great. So just look for us to grow. On Elite Stars level, me on a Hennessy level, look for our program to evolve. Got some special things we're working on that I can't mention, but just stay tuned and just make sure you're following us.
And also look out for Wolfpack, Global Music. Look out for Ordinary Genius Music and everything that's coming out of our camp.